What is up, everyone? StonePost34 here, bringing you Q&A. I haven't done this in a while, and I owe a few people some answers to their questions. Real quick, this is gameplay. I never talk about the gameplay. I was in a match by myself, and you'll see what happens. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. If you haven't noticed, I've been trying to stream. If anyone is a streaming genius and has ideas on settings to help the clarity and quality, let me know. Send me a message. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all those that have been watching the stream. So anyway, let's jump into Q&A, and I gotta tell you, there's some serious stuff in this one, guys. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy my take on it, and I hope I can help those out within this video. So let's start with the first one, and I'm gonna link at the end of this video. This is a Q&A I did called Life's Curveballs, and it basically was directed, the whole video is about a young man from the UK who got his girlfriend pregnant, was having issues with his parents, family, whether you should stay with her. So check that out. It's at the end of the video. I think I did it months and months ago. I had to go download it off YouTube because I couldn't find it. So anyway, TW number 2 TV says, hey, you did life's curveballs for me before. Life's okay at the moment. Still haven't spoke to my family like my mother or father. They still don't agree with me and my soon-to-be mother of my baby. I don't know what I should do. Should I try to reconnect with them? You get what I mean. This is a two-part question. You guys probably don't know this about me. Kind of something. I didn't get my wife pregnant until we were married. So, but something similar before that happened with my parents. And they did not approve of my wife, and for reasons that I'll still never understand. I'm not gonna lie to you. I won't understand. We are fine now, my parents and I, but believe it or not, we live in the same town. We live within miles of each other, and I did not speak to them for 10 years. I know you guys are like, oh, Stone, you're a good guy. You know what? I am a good guy, but I take care of people who take care of me. I think you guys know that by my channel. And yeah, it was an emotional time. They didn't come to my wedding. They were not there for both the births of my children. And yeah, it's a little emotional to talk about. But so what I guess my advice for you is, you have a family. And I told my parents this. I had a family growing up, and it was them, and I was very proud to call them my family. But your family now is your soon-to-be child and your girlfriend, and you guys are a family. So my advice is, you know, I'm not telling you to be a jerk about it, but stick it out, try to work it out, and if it doesn't work out with your parents, you've made a commitment, and that commitment's that unborn child and your girlfriend. So I've got your back 100%, and I think that kid will be happy for you. But stick by your guns, man. You got to. And then the second part of the question is, basically, he's been accepted to a university, and he's in a dead-end job currently and wants to know if he should pursue the opportunity with the university. By all means, I mean, if you financially can swing it, support your family. It's going to take some sacrifice to do, I'm sure, but by all means, if you think that's the direction you need to go to further your opportunities for your family, I totally agree. You have to get a better education, and as an employer myself, that is what people look for. You know, I spent I've gotten, I wouldn't call it hate, but people, you know, I did that. Being poor is awesome, man. When I grew up, I was poor. We were poor, but my dad worked so hard, and super proud of him. But there was a lot of sacrifice down the road, and I get, everyone's like, well, you're not poor, you own your own company. You know what? That didn't just happen. It wasn't given to me. That was hard work. I went to college, and after college, I did 5 more years of school. Okay? 5 more years of school, and about $6,000 worth of education on top of that. So to give me trouble about saying I was poor is ridiculous. And you, Mr. TW2TV, you got to work hard, man. Nothing's free. That's the great thing about the country we live in, and the country you live in, is hard work is rewarded. So I hope it works out for you. Best of luck. Sorry, I got a little preachy there. I got a few messages like that, and it just yeah, it kind of bothered me. I'm like, you don't even understand. I mean, spending, working a 50-hour week and then spending an entire weekend taking about 18 hours worth of classes and doing tests and spending all this money for you to tell me that I'm not poor, bothers me a lot. So anyway, enough of that. Next question is from Brusef Hero, and he writes, I struggle in school. I wonder what advice you would give me. As you know, he sent me another email, said I failed 7th grade 3 times straight. What advice do you have for me? Kind of along the same lines. When I was in school, you have to be interactive. And I'm going to go through a few things here for you. I just remember being in college. I could show up to class, and sitting in class, it's like sitting in a car does not make you a garage. You have to become interactive. You have to take notes. You have to study, whether you understand it or not. I mean, the teacher's only as good as its worst student. So, you got to work with your teachers. The schools I grew up in, we had guidance counselors. I would recommend you get with a guidance counselor. Apply yourself. I mean, it's my old saying, anything worth doing is worth doing right. So I don't know exactly all the details of what's going on. If you have a learning disability, the schools, I'm on a site council for a school now. We set aside special teachers to work with the kids with special needs. So I would pursue all those opportunities, and it's going to be a group effort. I think it's going to be an effort between your parents. I think it's going to be an effort with your teachers. And most of all, I think your friends need to support you. Now, I know when I was that age, if you struggled in school, people made fun of you, which I don't agree with. I know that happened, so I hope you're not you didn't mention much of that or any of that, so I hope you're not getting a lot of negative peer pressure in that. So, set goals. Kind of like when, starting my own company, that was basically a 2 to 3 year process, and I had goals. I set myself to pass these classes. I say it's 2 to 3. It took me 5 years to get where I wanted to go, but I didn't know I was going to start my own company till the last 2 or 3 years. But it's baby steps, man. It's working towards something in small increments. If you look at the mountain, you're never going to climb it just by looking at the mountain. You got to look at each little step along the way. So good luck, man. I hope it works out, and I hope you can find some support along the way. So next question comes actually from my Twitter account. Comes from Ford3984. He's a fellow YouTuber. He said, "What kind of discipline did you receive growing up, and how does it affect the way you discipline your kids?" Man, my parents were about as creative as it gets regarding discipline. If we told on a sibling numerous times, we were warned. We would get. It was called the tattletale. Tattletale was this dirty rag with a clothespin in it, and my mom would put it around our back belt buckle or just pin it to our pants, and we had to wear it the rest of the day, whether you're playing outside. So creative punishments. If we tipped our chair at the table, we had to eat the next week without a chair. Sounds easy enough, but you got made fun of. If you ate without your silverware, using your fingers, you didn't get silverware for a week. So we had creative stuff. We did have corporal punishment. I've talked about it before. I don't necessarily agree with it, and I don't spank my own kids. So I think I've used some of the creativity. My parents always said the punishment should fit the crime, and they did. So it did anyway. Next question comes from SharkStopper29. And this isn't quite as serious. It sounds like he's an attractive, athletic gentleman who has no problems with the women, he writes. Hey, great stuff, Stone. Keep it coming. Just want to ask you a quick question. Okay, so I don't have very many problems with girls. I play hockey on the highest level in my city, but I want to know your opinion. And he's asking me one or the other. Hottest girls that are a little shallow, or go with the above average girl with the big hearts. And he says, thanks for reading this. Good job. See ya. Okay. I don't know how you guys think I'm going to answer this, but maybe I'm a little shallow. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for fun, if you're dressing to impress, if you're, out, I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for. I've dated all sorts, and I got to tell you, in the end, looks. Another saying, looks are only skin deep. They are, man. Looks are great, and I think it's innate in our genes to be, there's a certain, I've read stuff that symmetry is important. It shows a healthy individual. Balance is important. Like, you don't have one ear twice as big as the other, stuff like that. And we're attracted to that because that means that individual is healthy, and not to get in the health class here, but would make a good mate. So as far as I just shallow, man, I just got no time for it. And I dated a few girls that were shallow, and it didn't last long at all. But you got to go with the big hearts, man. But it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to settle down, man, go with the big heart. And even if you're not, I think you're going to be a better person for it. So shallow, man, I'm thinking of a few girls right now that I dated, and it's just not worth your time. So I have another question. It's really serious, and I knew I was going to run out of time. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Check out the link at the very end of this video. It will have life's curveballs. I'm probably not the best commentator in it. It's one of my earlier videos, but I think the content is pretty good. So, guys, I really appreciate you watching, and take care as always. This is StonePost34. So we have two issues here in my mind. We have the soon-to-be-born child, and we have the girlfriend. So let's talk about the first one. I got to tell you, there's no greater gift in life than having kids. I have two daughters.